Let's say that you have a rule. Let's say you are new to this QRadar installation. You get this rule or a rule similar like this with multiple test conditions. And even though the event that is supposed to be triggering this is actually happening, which we see it here, we see the actual event coming. When you dive into it, you see the conditions, kind of the information that you expect in there, but the rule is not firing. And from the custom rule, it is hard to see which conditions were not met and which of them were actually met. Before I proceed, this is a fantastic tool developed by Mutaz from IBM Poland, but it's unsupported. You should not install this on a production system, only on your test system where you develop and test your rules. This implies putting a Java program in your QRadar environment, and again, you should not do that on a production system. So without the tool that Mutaz developed, your options will be to start removing conditions, one after another until you start seeing which of them fire and which not. It's not ideal. Let me show you a better way. We actually run this Java program. Make sure, again, like any Java program, you don't have extra spaces between the actual parameters. So, and this Java program, again, this doesn't do it in real time in terms that the performance, it takes a few seconds or so to come out because it doesn't work the standard way that QRadar works, since it loads the Postgres database and those many other things that you don't do when you're evaluating rules. But the net of the thing is that you have in here, look at that, the first component of the rule is telling you is met true. The get, that one is good. The URL full custom property here is false. Why? If I saw Facebook in there, we'll test that out. This one local to local is good. I don't have to worry. Notice that it calls a building block like another rule, and so it goes kind of a nested in there and says, well, this is actually false. This proxy server condition is not met, and the text/XML is true. So we have two of those conditions that we need to focus on. Well, now that I'm being told so, I kind of guess right now that this is because I'm looking for a perfect match of Facebook.com, and when we look at the actual log event, we'll see that we have some extra stuff besides the Facebook.com. So we need to change the rule from this, which is a perfect match, to this contains any of, and add this condition. Oops, I need to put the actual URL in there. We add it in here. We remove the previous one, which is the one that was giving us trouble, and let's run the script again and see what do we get now. So good, we fixed that one. So we have all these are firing, all these conditions are meeting. Now we have the proxy server. Why would that be? Let's take a look. Actually, we see that the tool, when it goes and evaluates that list of proxy servers, we have these addresses in here, but the source IP of this one is not on the table. So let's say is adding these to the proxy servers building block will fix the problem. So we switch to the building block proxy servers, and we go in there and we're going to add the IP address of the actual proxy server. We've closed this one, and let's try it again. Beautiful. We get all the conditions now being met. Now we can replay the logs or get the actual log to come back again to the system naturally and see if the offense actually fires. So we're here in the offenses. We have no offense. Let's put the logs and let's replay the actual event. So when we play the actual incident, we see now that our rule fires, and that's the condition, the extra event that we put on the actual offense. If we go to the offenses tab and refresh, we have our rule that was renamed, and it's actually, as we've done many times before, let's go to the rule. And that's the multi-test rule that we had. We were troubleshooting, and we have here all the conditions. And just to show you that the event came, that's the event that we dispatched that gave us an indication that our rule was fixed. Now, again, this unsupported tool, I'll put a link in the description of the video for the box place where an internal place where you can download the actual Java program that performs this. If you remember, on the syntax of the actual program, let me tell you a little bit about it. So first is just the invocation of the Java, specifying the path, and that's the name of the program, rule debugger. And then there is a CSV file that where you have your event exported into. More into that in a minute. That's the first line in which, because you may have multiple logs in the same CSV, and then you can specify in the program which are the events that you want the rule to be evaluated. And in here, of course, between double quotes is the full name of the actual rule. Now, to actually get the event into the CSV file, you pause the logs being played here. This is the actual event. We see actually that it contributed to an offense by the icon in there. And what you need to do is go here and do export CSV and export it in all column, and then specify whatever name you are invoking in the when you run the actual program. So I saved it and rename it to event.csv.